Chinese literature. Water margin tells the story set in the northern Song Dynasty. If you are unfamiliar with this historical period, you can refer to my other work, Complete History of the Northern Song Dynasty. Now, please enjoy the exciting content of Water Margin. Episode 1, Celestial Master Shang prays for plague alleviation. General Hong accidentally encounters demons and monsters. In the reign of Emperor Ranzong of the Great Song Dynasty, on the third day of the third month in the third year of Jiyu, at the third watch of the night, the emperor sat in the purple Forbidden City Hall to receive the morning congratulations from the court officials. A sight unfolded. Auspicious clouds enveloped the Phoenix Pavilion, and auspicious key shrouded the Dragon Tower. Amidst the mist, willows brushed against banners, and dew-drenched palace flowers welcomed swords and spears. In the shadow of heavenly fragrance, jade hairpins and vermilion shoes gathered on the vermilion court. Amidst celestial music, embroidered robes and brocade garments accompanied the imperial chariot. Pearl curtains rolled up, revealing a golden throne atop a golden dais. Phoenix feather fans opened, and before the white jade stops, a precious carriage came to a halt. Faint sounds of appeal were rang 3 times, and layers of civil and military officials were in harmony. At the head of the court, an official shouted, "If you have urgent matters, report them promptly. If not, withdraw after the morning audience." In the midst of the courtiers, Prime Minister Zhang and Counselor Wen Yanbo stepped forward out of turn. The emperor, seeing this, observed that it was the associate prime minister, Fan Zhongyan, who had gone beyond his turn to report. After the emperor acknowledged him, Fan Zhongyan, having paid his respects, stood up and reported. Currently, the capital is ravaged by a severe epidemic, causing great harm to the military and civilians. I implore your Majesty to pardon and show mercy, reduce punishments and taxes, pray for heavenly relief, and provide assistance to the people. The emperor, upon hearing the report, urgently commanded the Hanlan Academy to draft an edict. Simultaneously, he issued a decree to pardon all prisoners throughout the realm and exempted the people from taxes. Additionally, he ordered the temples and monasteries in the capital to conduct auspicious ceremonies to ward off calamities. However, contrary to expectations, the epidemic worsened that year. Emperor Ranzong, distressed by the situation, convened with his courtiers once again. A high-ranking official then dared to speak out of turn. When the emperor looked, it was the deputy prime minister, Fan Zhongyan, who had gone beyond his turn to report. Upon inspection, Fan Zhongyan, having paid his respects, stood up and reported. Currently, the calamity is widespread, causing suffering to both the military and civilians who are in dire straits day and night. In my humble opinion, to alleviate this calamity, we should summon the Han Celestial Master promptly. He shall come to the capital and conduct a grand ritual of 3,600 parts, praying to the heavens. This will appease the plague affecting the common people. Emperor Ranzong approved the report and immediately commanded the Hanlan Academy to draft a decree. The emperor personally penned the decree and, along with an imperial incense, appointed officials to escort and direct General Hong Shen as the heavenly envoy. The envoy was to proceed to Mount Longhushun in Jiangxi, summoning the Han Celestial Master Shang Shanran urgently to come to the court and pray for the alleviation of the epidemic. Upon lighting the imperial incense in the Golden Hall, the emperor handed the decree to General Hong Shen, who then embarked on his journey. General Hong Shen, holding the sacred edict, bid farewell to the emperor, carried the decree on his back, packed the imperial incense, and, accompanied by several dozen attendants, set off on horseback, leaving the capital. The journey took more than a day, and they arrived in Sinzhou County, Jiangxi. Officials and officers from both large and small came out to greet them. Subsequently, they dispatched messengers to notify the Taoists of the Upper King Palace on Longhushun, instructing them to prepare for the arrival of the decree. The next day, all the officials accompanied General Hong Shen to the foot of Mount Longhushun. There, they saw numerous Zhangyists from the Upper King Palace, ringing bells and beating drums. Fragrant flowers, bright lanterns, banners, and treasures created a scene of celestial music, descending the mountain to receive the imperial decree. They continued until they reached the front of the Upper King Palace. General Hong Shen, upon observing the palace, indeed saw a splendid Upper King Palace. Green pines twisted and turned, while dark cypresses cast a shadow. The gate bore a golden inscription, and the door displayed jade talismans. By the imperial altar, fine willows and famous flowers adorned, near the medicine refining furnace, aged pine and ancient cypress provided shelter. Left in the left wing, Yuan Dynasty, the mighty warrior, accompanied Yi true monarch. On the right side, there were jade maidens and golden boys, surrounding the grand emperor of purple microcosm, unleashing their hair and wielding swords. True martial god of the north trod on tortoises and snakes. Wearing straw sandals and crown hats, the old man of the South Pole bowed before dragons and tigers. In the front row were the 28 star deities, and in the rear were the 32 emperors. The steps were adorned with flowing and murmuring water, while behind the walls and courtyards, mountains surrounded them. Cranes grew on cinnabar peaks, and turtles had green fur. At the top of the trees, the blue monkeys offered fruits, and within the sage grass, white deer carried mushrooms. Above the free pier once hall, Daonists walked on air, striking the golden ball. In front of the four sages' hall, immortal men knocked on jade vessels, paying their respects. The incense altar's foundation emitted radiant rosy clouds, as if the Daoist was sending the Dao to Laozi. At that moment, from the supreme leader to the Daoist disciples, all greeted and accompanied the procession, leading them to the three pier once hall. The imperial decree was then presented and offered in the center. General Hong asked the Daoist in charge, "Where is the celestial master now?" The Daoist in charge respectfully replied, "Let me inform the general, our current Grand Master is named Shi. He is inclined towards simplicity and seclusion, weary of greetings and farewells. He resides at the peak of Longhushan, constructing a thatched hut for cultivating virtue. Thus, he doesn't stay in the main palace." General Hong asked, "Since the emperor has issued a decree, how can I meet him?" The Daoist replied, "Please pardon me. The decree is appropriately placed in the hall, and we dare not open it. I ask General to accompany me to the abbot's room for tea and further discussion." The imperial decree was presented in the three pure ones hall, and all officials went to the abbot's room. General Hong sat in the middle, and the attendants offered tea. After a vegetarian meal, General Hong asked the Daoist, "Since the celestial master is in the hut on the mountain top, why not send someone to invite him to come down and see and open the imperial decree?" The Daoist reported, "Although our Grand Master is on the mountain top, his cultivation is extraordinary. He can ride the clouds and summon the mist, making his traces unpredictable. Even under normal circumstances, it's challenging to meet him, let alone now. How could we possibly persuade him to come down?" General Hong said, "How can we meet him like this? The epidemic is rampant in the capital. The emperor has specially sent me to deliver the imperial decree, personally offer dragon incense, and invite the celestial master to perform a grand ritual of 3,600 parts to appease the calamity and aid the people. How can we handle this situation?" The Daoist replied, "If the emperor wishes to save the people, General must express genuine sincerity. Refrain from bringing any attendants, change into plain clothes, and walk up the mountain without assistance. Carry the decree on your back, burn the imperial incense, and walk up to pay respects. Only then can you see the celestial master. If the sincerity is lacking, even a visit won't be granted." General Hong, upon hearing this, said, "I have traveled from the capital and maintained a vegetarian diet until now. How can my sincerity be questioned? Since that's the case, according to your instructions, I will go up the mountain tomorrow morning." That night, they each found a place to rest. At 5 in the morning the next day, the Daoist priests prepared a fragrant bath for General Hong. He changed into fresh clothes, put on straw sandals and grass shoes, ate a vegetarian meal, took the imperial decree, wrapped it in yellow silk, and tied it to his back. In his hand, he carried a silver hand censer, burning the imperial incense. Many Daoist disciples accompanied him to the rear mountain and pointed out the path. The Daoist in charge once again reported, "If General wishes to save the people, do not harbor any regrets and proceed with sincere determination." General Hong bid farewell to the crowd, recited the sacred title, and ascended the mountain. When he reached halfway up the mountain, he saw the towering peak piercing the heavens, a truly majestic mountain. It was as described. The roots spanned the corners of the earth, while the peak reached the heart of the sky. From afar, it seemed to cut through scattered cloud patterns, and up close, it swallowed the bright moonlight. Uneven in height, it was called a mountain. Side rocks forming parts were called peaks. Isolated ridges were rugged and named roads, while the top was flat and termed the summit. The head was round, and the bottom was sturdy, forming ranges. Tigers and leopards hid in caves, and winds and quads concealed the rocks. Wise men secluded themselves in caves, and realms and boundaries were called mansions. Woodcutters roamed and traversed the paths capable of accommodating carts and horses, forming roads. Flowing water produced a murmuring sound called a brook, and at the source of an ancient crossing was called a stream. Water dripped from rocky cliffs, turned a spring. The left side was for concealment, and the right side was for reflection. What emerged was clouds, and what was absorbed was mist. Cone peaks resembled small ones, and steep cliffs seemed sheer. Suspended in the air, it appeared perilous and sharp-edged like a plane. Dozens of peaks competed for elegance, and countless valleys vied for flow. Waterfalls cascaded diagonally, and vines hung upside down. Tigers roared and the wind stirred at the valley's mouth, monkeys cried, and the moon dragged at the mountain's waist. It was as if indigo dye had stained 1,000 pieces of jade, and blue silk enveloped countless piles of smoke. General Hong traversed the path alone, winding around slopes, climbing over peaks, and grabbing vines. After approximately crossing several mountain tops, and covering a distance of 2 or 3 miles, his feet were sore, his legs were weak, and he could hardly move forward. He did not complain aloud, but he hesitated in his heart, thinking, I am a high-ranking official of the court. In the capital, I lie down on luxurious bedding, and I eat from noble vessels. Yet I still feel weary and lethargic. How could I have expected to wear grass shoes and walk such mountain paths? Knowing that the celestial master is somewhere here, why does he make me endure such hardship? After walking for no more than 50 steps, he was gasping for breath. Suddenly, a gust of wind rose in the mountain hollow. Where the wind passed, behind the pine trees, there was a roar resembling thunder, and a large creature with hanging white fur and golden stripes let down. General Hong was startled, exclaimed, "Ah," and collapsed to the ground. When he looked at the large creature, he saw its fur was draped in a golden hue, with 18 silver-clawed paws and bill. Eyes sparkled like lightning, tail akin to a whip, teeth like a blood basin, fangs like a halberd's tip, stretching its waist and arms a ferocious stance, swinging its tail and shaking its head, a deafening trance. In the mountains, foxes and hares quietly hid. Below the brook, deer and roe discreetly slid. The creature roared, fierce and intimidating, and the ground shook, echoing a thunderous ring. In the forest, the wind stirred, revealing the valley's entrance. On the cliff, the monkey cried, in the moon fell on the mountain slope. It seemed as if blue indigo had been dyed into 1,000 pieces of jade, and blue silk shrouded in myriad heaps of smoke. As the creature disappeared after a while, General Hong got up, rearranged the incense burner on the ground, and continued to burn the dragon incense. He proceeded up the mountain, determined to find the celestial master. After walking another 30 or 50 steps, he sighed a few times, complaining, as a high-ranking official, I have been a vegetarian from the capital until now. How could my sincerity be questioned? Since it's like this, according to your instructions, I will go up the mountain early tomorrow that night, each rested in their own places. The next day at 5 in the morning, the Taoist priests prepared a fragrant bath for General Hong. He changed into fresh clothes, put on straw sandals and grass shoes, ate a vegetarian meal, took the imperial decree, wrapped it in yellow silk, tied it to his back, and carried a silver hand censer in his hand, burning the imperial incense. Many Taoist disciples accompanied him to the Bat Mountain and pointed out the path. The Taoist in charge once again advised, if General wants to save the people, do not harbor any regrets and proceed with sincere determination. As General Hong gazed intently, he heard a rustling sound from the bamboo and vines on the mountainside. A snowflake-sized serpent swiftly emerged, and upon seeing it, General Hong was once again startled. He dropped the censer, exclaiming, "This time I'm truly going to die." He fell backward beside a rocky outcrop. When he cautiously opened his eyes to observe the serpent, he saw, raising its head, it stirred up gusts of wind. Its eyes flashed like lightning, a fierce spectacle. In motion, it could bend ridges and topple hills. In breath, it could blow clouds and exhale mist. Its scales scattered like 1,000 pieces of jade. Its tail curled like a pile of silver. The large serpent rushed to the rocky outcrop where General Hong lay, coiling up and forming a heap. Its two eyes emitted golden light as it opened its enormous mouth, protruding its tongue and exhaling poisonous gas onto General Hong's face. This terrified General Hong, his 3 souls wavering, and his 7 spirits drifting. After observing General Hong for a while, the serpent turned and swiftly disappeared down the mountain. General Hong, finally able to get up, sighed, "Shameful. This has terrified me." Upon inspecting his body, goosebumps the size of chestnuts covered him. He cursed the Taoist, saying, "What impudence! To play tricks on me and subject me to such fear. If I can't find the celestial master on the mountain or have some words with him when I go down," he picked up the silver censer, treated the imperial decree in his clothing, and was about to ascend the mountain again. Just as he was about to move, he heard the faint sound of a flute coming from behind the pine trees. The sound gradually approached. When General Hong focused his gaze, he saw a Taoist boy riding a yellow ox, playing an iron flute, emerging from the mountain hollow. When General Hong saw the Taoist boy, he touched small bands of hair on his head, wore a Saiyan robe with a grass knot at the waist. His eyes were clear and bright, untainted by dust. His green sideburns and rosy complexion were free of mundane appearances. In the past, immortal old Dongbin composed a poem about a shepherd boy. Grass blankets the wilderness 6 or 7 miles wide. A flute plays with the evening breeze, 3 or 4 notes. Returning home after a million, the evening, still wearing a straw rain cape under the moonlight. The Taoist boy, with a smile, rode the yellow ox, playing the iron flute as he approached the mountain. When General Hong saw the Taoist boy, he called out to the Taoist boy, "Where are you from? Do you recognize me?" The Taoist boy paid no attention, just continued playing the flute. General Hong asked several times, but the Taoist boy only laughed, held the iron flute, and pointed at General Hong, saying, "Are you here to see the celestial master?" General Hong was greatly surprised and said, "You're just a shepherd boy. How do you know?" The Taoist boy chuckled and replied, "I've been serving the celestial master in the grass hermitage. I heard the celestial master say, the emperor has sent General Hong with an imperial decree to offer incense, arriving in the mountains to announce that I will perform a 3,600 part grand ritual in the east capital to pray for the eradication of the plague throughout the world. Now I am riding a crane and flying on clouds to depart. You don't need to go up. The mountain is full of poisonous creatures and fierce beasts, and I fear for your life." General Hong asked again, "Don't lie to me." The Taoist boy laughed, ignored him, and continued playing the flute as he turned around the mountain slope. General Hong pondered, "How does this boy know all this? It must be the celestial master instructing him. It must be so, considering the frightening experiences he had just encountered." He decided that risking his life by going further up the mountain was not worth it. Instead, he chose to descend the mountain. The general took the censer and retraced his steps, rushing down the mountain. The Taoist priests received him and invited him to the abbot's quarters. The true man asked the general, "Did you meet the celestial master?" The general replied, "I am a high-ranking official in the court. Why did they make me traverse these difficult mountain paths, risking my life?" About halfway up, a large creature with white eyes and a white forehead leapt down, frightening me to the point of losing my soul. I couldn't pass a mountain pass where a snowflake-like serpent emerged from bamboo vines, coiling up and blocking my way. If it weren't for my good fortune, how could I have returned alive to the capital? "It's all your fault for playing tricks on me," the true man responded. "How could we dare to disrespect the high-ranking official? It was the patriarch testing your heart. Although there are snakes and tigers on this mountain, they do not harm people," the general continued. "I was already having trouble walking, intending to climb the mountain again. Then a Taoist child appeared riding a yellow ox and playing an iron flute. He passed by me on the mountain. I asked him, 'Where are you from? Do you recognize me?' He replied, 'I already know. The celestial master ordered me.' He rode a crane and ascended to the clouds early in the morning, heading to the capital. That's why I came back," the true man said. "General, it's a pity you missed him. That child is the celestial master," the general said. "If he's the celestial master, why is he so ordinary?" The true man replied, Although the celestial master of this generation is young, his cultivation is extraordinary. He is an exceptional individual, widely known for his spiritual abilities. People call him the ancestral master of the Tao. General Hong said, "I truly have eyes but fail to recognize the true master. I missed the opportunity right in front of me." The true man said, "General, please rest assured. Since the patriarch has left according to his divine decree, by the time you return to the capital, the rituals will have already been completed." Hearing this, the general finally felt at ease. The true man arranged the feast, treating the general and storing the imperial decree in a book box, leaving it in the upper clear palace. The dragon incense was burned in the three-peal hall. On that day, a grand vegetarian meal was prepared in the abbot's quarters, and after the banquet and wine, they rested until dawn. The next day, after breakfast, the true man, Zhang's disciples, supervisors, were tenants in. Others invited the general to tour the mountain. The general was delighted, and many people followed, walking out of the abbot's quarters. Chu Da's children led the way. They visited the front and back of the palace, enjoying many scenic spots. The wealth and nobility of the three-peal halls could not be fully described. The left quarter housed the Nine Heavens Hall, Purple Micro Hall, and North Pole Hall, while the right quarter housed the Cai Yi Hall, Three Officials Hall, and Expelling Evil Hall. After touring all the palaces, they reached the back right corridor, leading to another place. General Hong looked and saw another palace, its walls made of crushed red clay. Two vermilion doors in front had large locks and were sealed with layers of red seals. On the roof, a red plaque with golden characters read, "Demon Suppression Hall." The general pointed at the door, asking, "What is the purpose of this hall?" The true man answered, "This is the hall where the previous patriarch sealed and suppressed the demon king." The general asked again, "Why are there so many layers of seals on top?" The true man replied, "This is where the great Chang Zhuangsuan national teacher sealed the demon king." However, each generation of celestial masters personally adds a seal to ensure that their descendants do not open it casually. The demon king is extremely formidable. Even after 8 or 9 generations of patriarchs, they vow not to open it. The lock was cast with bronze solution, concealing its contents. I have resided in this palace for over 30 years and only heard about it. General Hong, upon hearing this, was astonished and thought, "Let me see what the demon king looked like." He said to the true man, "Open the door and let me have a look at the demon king." The true man warned, "General, we dare not open this hall. The ancestral celestial master admonished us. From now on, no one is allowed to open it." The general chuckled, "Nonsense. You concoct strange things and deceive the innocent, deliberately arranging such places, falsely claiming to lock the demon king, showcasing your Taoist arts. I have read various books and never encountered any method of sealing demons. The ways of spirits and ghosts exist in the mysterious unknown. I don't believe there's a demon king inside. Quickly open it for me, and I will see what the demon king is like." The true man repeatedly advised, "This hole cannot be opened. It may cause harm and pose a danger to people." The general became furious, pointing at the Taoist disciples, "If you don't open it for me to see, when I return to the court, I will first report that you Taoist priests have violated the imperial decree, refusing me to meet the celestial master. Later, I will report that you secretly established this hall, falsely claiming to lock the demon king, deceiving the military and civilians. I will have all of you pursued, banished, and sent to remote and harsh military provinces, fearing the general's power and authority." The true man reluctantly called a few fire-working Taoists to remove the seals and unlock the giant padlock. As they opened the door and looked inside, it was pitch dark. When they lit several torches and shone light inside, all they could see was utter darkness. The true man instructed his followers to bring some torches, and when they illuminated the interior, it revealed a black, gloomy void. The atmosphere was dim, and it had been devoid of sunlight for centuries, with no trace of moonlight for countless eons. The directions of north and south were indistinguishable, shrouded in dense black smoke that chilled the body with a penetrating cold. In a place untouched by human footsteps, it was frequented by demons and spirits. Opening their eyes seemed like blindness, and reaching out their hands revealed nothing. It felt like a perpetual night, akin to the darkest hours before dawn. The group ventured into the hall, unable to discern anything in the profound darkness. General Hong ordered his attendants to fetch several torches and light them to get a better view. When they illuminated the surroundings, there was nothing on all sides except a central stone stele, about 5 or 6 feet tall. A stone turtle sat beneath it, mostly submerged in mud. When the light shone on the stele, the front displayed dragon and phoenix seal scripts, celestial scriptures, and talismans that no one could decipher. When the light reached the back of the stele, there were 4 large characters engraved, stating, "Encountering Hong opens." But not only did the heavenly gang-star alignment coincide with my appearance, it was also destined for the loyalty and righteousness of the Song Dynasty, and furthermore, it conveniently encountered Liangshan. Isn't this heaven's will? General Hong, upon reading these 4 characters, was overjoyed. He said to the true man, "You all obstructed me, but how was it predetermined hundreds of years ago that my name would be here? Encountering Hong opens clearly instructs me to open and see. What harm is there in that? I think the demon king is beneath the stone stele. Gather some people, fetch hoes and shovels, and let's dig it open." The true man hastily advised, "General, you must not disturb it. There might be danger and harm to people. It is not advisable." General Hong became furious and shouted, "You dust followers, what do you know? The stele is explicitly inscribed would encounter me to open. Why obstruct it? Hurry and call people to open it for me." The true man once again advised 3 or 5 times, saying, "I fear it may not be good." General Hong would not listen. He gathered people and toppled the stone stele. They collectively dug up the stone turtle, and after half a day, they finally managed to lift it. Digging further down, they found a large green stone slab about the size of a square yard. General Hong ordered them to continue digging. The true man once again pleaded, this should not be disturbed. General Hong would not listen. The crowd had no choice but to lift the stone slab together. Beneath the slab, they discovered a pit of immeasurable depth, and as they looked inside, there was a clear, loud noise echoing. The sound was extraordinary, akin to the heavens collapsing and the earth collapsing, waves crashing on the Liangshan River, and giant spirits shattering mountain peaks on Taihiyue Mountain. It was as if Gong Gong in fury had knocked down Bushou Mountain, and a powerful warrior wielding his hammer had shattered Emperor Qin's carriage. A gust of wind shook and broke thousands of bamboo stalks, and within the army of 100,000 soldiers, a midnight thunderclap resounded. After that resounding noise, a black vapor rose from the pit, toppling half of the corner of the palace. The black vapor surged into the sky, dissolving into 100 golden lights, scattering in all directions. Startled, everyone shouted and ran away, abandoning hoes and shovels, fleeing from the palace, causing countless collapses. General Hong was stunned, bewildered, yet not at a loss. He rushed to the corridor and saw the true man expressing distress. General Hong asked, "What kind of demon has disappeared?" The true man explained briefly, describing the reasons behind this. There was a teaching that, once an emperor, there will be insomnia at night and meals will be forgotten. Forest tigers and leopards hide in the city, and dragons gather in the pond. In the end, what did Master Long Hushen say? If you want to know what happens next, please listen to the next episode. Han Master Wang sneaks to Yan'an Prefecture, and 9 striped dragon causes havoc in the Shi family village.